Russ, good to see you. Just a chance to catch up on what's been a fairly busy summer, to be fair. Are you quite happy with how things are coming along?
I think so. An unusual summer, to say the least. But we've done some good business, and we've got our hands dirty a little bit around the place, and just feeling a good vibe going into next season.
Amari Morgan-Smith, the most recent piece of business for you. Talk to me about coming back in, because not only were you very keen to bring him in, but he was very keen to get here as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, obviously playing at the level the last couple of seasons, he's someone that he's a good fit for the club. He's local. He's had his best year in terms of goals last season, 19 with 10 games to go. So we'll definitely have hit the 20 mark, possibly the 25, and great experience at this level and above. So he ticks a lot of boxes to what we want.
You used the phrase getting your hands dirty there. Is he the type of player who will do that for you, looking for a bit of industry and a bit of grit maybe?
Yeah, coincided with goals, which at the end of the day is what gets you where you want to be. So he can take the weight of the two centre halves very well. He's crafty, he's got guile, and he's got that bit of nastiness, as we say, which is what you need at this level.
Lewis Montrose coming in as well as bringing back Colby Arthur. You know, collectively, you're quite happy with the blend that's coming along now?
I am. Obviously, Monty, I played with Lewis up York about 4 or 5 years ago, but I actually think he's got better as a player. Got a couple of promotions in between that period, and great experience. 31-year-old who's played over 400 games, and he's a leader, and he's up that spine which we've kind of solved now, which I felt we needed to strengthen throughout the last couple of years.
Talk to me about how the support has been in place for you this summer so far, because obviously with regards to building for any kind of season you need support from the boardroom coming downwards, and that's been in place more than perhaps for a while.
Yeah, we've had plenty of Zoom meetings, as they say, but listen, we're all in kind of new positions really, new ownership, new managers, and we're very enthusiastic, which can only be a good thing. And there feels to be some kind of healthy vibes, as they say, around the place, and we've got to jump on that bandwagon, because it's what's needed to push on.
When people usually talk about support from the boardroom, they normally talk about pounds and money, don't they? And whilst you've got budgets to work to, has it been important for you that you've been told, look, these are your parameters, but apart from that, just go and do your job, really, to have that kind of freedom as well? Yeah,
I think so, and because we're all new to it, new owners, new managers, new staff, we're kind of all in the same boat, and we've got to try and use that enthusiasm to attract the players, because budgets have been cut all over the country in any line of work, and we're no different. But what we have got here is a fantastic stadium with a fantastic pitch, with a fantastic own training ground. It's run like a league club, and if players can kind of dip into our mentality, then fantastic.
You've had good times here and you've had challenging times. Do you feel like, in terms of a vibe that's around the place, that positivity is where it needs to be for us to succeed?
I believe so, and that's what I will bring. And don't get me wrong, to go with that you need the results, but we've got to build a competitive squad that's going to be up there all year round. There's no hiding facts. That's what I want, and that's what the fans want, and we'll push and do everything we can to be there.
We've mentioned finances. Obviously, supporters have been able to play the bit, and already are really several thousands of pounds being raised through the booster budget scheme. I mean, that potentially could be massive for you, couldn't it? You'd love everyone to take part.
It's great, and it doesn't surprise me at all. And we've got to try and just keep asking them to drop a pound or two here and there, because it would all help in the long run, whether it's for me or something else that we need backing up in December, January time. But I think it really shows the togetherness of the club, and we'll see where we are come the start of the season. But I can only thank every single one who's put money in so far, and everyone who will put money in, and hopefully that's my job to pay them back.
And whether it's your corporates who perhaps are paying for that sort of match day experience, if you like, at a reasonably high price, or whether it's your supporter through the turnstiles who's making a £10 donation, to use that phrase, every bit does help, doesn't it?
Yeah, every little helps, and I'll show how grateful I am through the season. I'm always here, I'm always open to talk to him. I'm an open and honest guy, and I'll be around, and I thank him personally for that.
We don't have any concrete news yet in terms of when the season will start and things like that, but are you just looking to get going now as soon as possible?
We are, like everyone in football. I think the hurdle was the Premiership starting. That started now, and well and truly in the thick of it. Championship started and the playoffs are going ahead. Our playoffs have been declared for our level at the end of July, so things are moving now, just waiting for that date, but everyone's itching to get going.
And do you find that there's likely to be a renewed enthusiasm, whether it's players on the pitch in the dugout or fans in the terraces and stands? Everyone's going to be pleased to have the game back.
I think so, mate. I think there'll be a big boom, a football boom as soon as it starts, and hopefully if we get the crowds in, they'll prove that.